Sudan, the land of giants, facts, and curiosities you didn't know. Sudan is a country full of history, secrets, and natural wonders that few know the full extent of. From its ancient pyramids in Meroe to its rich cultural diversity, Sudan remains one of Africa's most mysterious destinations. Did you know that Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt? Can you imagine a place where ancient giants walked the land? If you've ever wondered what else this incredible country has to offer, stay with us to discover some of the most surprising facts and curiosities about Sudan. Get ready to travel through time and see a side of Sudan you never imagined. Do you dare to discover what secrets the land of giants hides? Let's go and see. Sudan is a fascinating country, full of history, culture, and natural wonders that often go unnoticed by the rest of the world. Many know it for its conflicts, but very few know of its immense riches and secrets. In this corner of Northeast Africa, history unfolds with every step, and modernity meets age-old traditions. If you're ready to embark on a unique journey through Sudan, get ready to discover surprising facts and curiosities about this country that, in many ways, remains a mystery to most. Despite being known for its arid and desert landscapes, Sudan is a place of stunning contrasts. In its lands, one can find some of the oldest pyramids in the world, much older than those of Egypt. In total, Sudan is home to more than 200 pyramids, which are part of the remains of the ancient civilization of Nubia, a powerful kingdom that flourished long before the foundation of Egypt. These pyramids, located in the Meroe region, are not only impressive structures, but also witnesses to a past full of mysteries. Sudan is also known for its incredible biodiversity. Although the image most commonly associated with the country is that of vast deserts, Sudan boasts an astonishing variety of ecosystems. From savanna plains to tropical rainforests, Sudan's fauna and flora is as diverse as the land itself. In the north, the Sahara Desert dominates, but to the south, the warmer, more humid climate supports species such as lions, cheetahs, giraffes, and an impressive variety of migratory birds. The national parks in the south, such as Dinder National Park, are a haven for wildlife and a sanctuary for those seeking to experience African nature at its finest. One of the most fascinating aspects of Sudan is its cultural heritage. The country is home to more than 500 different ethnic groups, each with its own language, customs, and traditions. The mix of African and Arab cultures creates a diverse and complex society. In fact, Sudan has more than 100 different languages, with Arabic as the official language, but other languages such as Nubian, Beja, and Fur are also spoken by large populations. This cultural diversity is reflected in the music, dance, cuisine, and festivals held throughout the year. Sudan's history is also one of conquest and resistance. In ancient times, it was home to powerful kingdoms such as the Kingdom of Kush, which rivaled Egypt in terms of wealth and power. In fact, the ancient Egyptians considered the inhabitants of Nubia, today's Sudanese, to be giants in stature and strength. This relationship between Egypt and Nubia is full of complexities, with periods of war, alliance, and trade. The figure of the Nubian pharaohs is one of the most fascinating in history, with kings who ruled over Egypt, carrying Nubia's influence beyond its borders. The Nile River, which runs through Sudan from south to north, has been the lifeblood of the country since time immemorial. This majestic river not only provides water for agriculture, but is also essential to the daily lives of millions of people. Along its banks are some of the oldest cities in the world, such as ancient Napata, which was a center of power in the Kingdom of Kush. The Nile has witnessed the evolution of Sudan, and its importance cannot be underestimated. Sudanese cuisine is another surprise for those who discover it. Although influenced by Arab traditions, Sudanese food has its own unique flavors and styles. Dishes are usually based on cereals, legumes, and lamb or chicken, with the use of spices such as cumin and coriander. One of the most popular dishes is kisra, a type of bread that accompanies almost every meal. It is also common to find stews rich in vegetables and meat, such as tajin, which is a mixture of ingredients cooked slowly. One cannot talk about Sudanese gastronomy without mentioning falafel, a very popular recipe throughout the Arab world, which in Sudan has a unique flavor. Sudan also has a fascinating climate. Although most of its territory is covered by desert, the southern areas have a rainy season that completely transforms the landscape. During the rainy months, the fields are filled with vegetation and flowers, allowing for an explosion of life in a territory that seems desolate at other times of the year. Visitors who venture to Sudan during this season can enjoy a unique experience, watching nature take over the land. On a social level, Sudan has undergone a number of significant transformations over the past few decades. Sudan's independence in 1956 ushered in an era of conflict and challenges, but also of resistance and struggle for national unity. The civil war that lasted more than 20 years, until 2005, split the country in two, leading to the creation of South Sudan in 2011. This process of division was one of the most significant events in Sudan's modern history, but it also reflected the desire of the various communities to live in peace and autonomy. However, Sudan is not only a country marked by war and division. There has been progress in terms of development and infrastructure, and a large part of the population is still struggling to improve their living conditions. In the larger cities, such as Khartoum, the capital, efforts are being made to modernize infrastructure and improve public services. Although the challenges remain great, the Sudanese people are resilient and have a spirit of self-improvement that is reflected in their every effort to move forward. Sudan is also a country that remains an enigma to many. Despite the enormous cultural, historical, and natural wealth, access to the country remains limited for international tourists due to domestic policies and visa restrictions. However, those who do manage to enter the country witness a hospitality and warmth that is characteristic of the Sudanese people. The Sudanese are known for their generosity and for sharing what they have with visitors, offering an experience that is unique and enriching. In the field of science and education, Sudan has made progress in several areas. Despite economic challenges, the country has made significant strides in education, especially in training young people in science and engineering. Sudanese universities have been centers of learning for students from across the region, and the country remains a benchmark in North Africa and the Horn of Africa for higher education. Sudan's nature is undoubtedly one of its greatest attractions. Travelers visiting the country have the opportunity to experience the vast Sahara Desert, but also the greenery of the south and national parks teeming with wildlife. The desert, in particular, offers landscapes that seem out of this world, with dunes stretching as far as the eye can see, and clear skies that allow for unparalleled astronomical observation. Sudan has much to offer, from its impressive pyramids to its natural landscapes and rich history. Although often overshadowed by negative news, the country has endless potential and a fascinating culture that deserves to be discovered. If you ever have the opportunity to visit Sudan, be prepared to witness a place that, although remote, has a rich history and a population that, despite adversity, forges ahead with hope and determination. In the land of giants, as it was known to the ancient Egyptians, past and present intertwine to tell a unique story that will leave you speechless. Sudan is a melting pot of cultures, where ancient traditions coexist with modern influences. Each of its peoples has its own identity, forged through centuries of history. Music is a central pillar in the daily life of the Sudanese. The sounds of the oud, a traditional stringed instrument, blend with African rhythms to create a unique sound experience. In many communities, songs are not only sung for entertainment, but also to pass on stories and teachings from generation to generation. Dances also play a crucial role, with regional dances expressing joy, pain, victory, and struggle. Often performed at ceremonies, festivals, and weddings, these dances are a way of keeping alive the connection to the past. One of the most important cultural elements in Sudan is hospitality. Despite economic and political difficulties, the Sudanese are known for their kindness and generosity. Visitors are greeted with a warmth that is hard to find in other parts of the world. Food is shared among friends and strangers alike, and a cup of tea is more than a drink, it is a symbol of welcome. This hospitality is part of a deeply rooted value, solidarity. In rural areas, especially, communities support each other to overcome the challenges of daily life. The tradition of Sudanese markets, called souk, is another sign of the country's cultural richness. At these markets, one can find everything from exotic spices and textiles to local art and handicrafts. Vendors, with their colorful stalls, offer products ranging from hand-woven carpets to jewelry and painted pottery. It is in these places that you experience the pulse of the country, where conversations flow and smiles are exchanged regardless of cultural differences. Sudan also has a rich literary tradition, though less known internationally. Sudanese writers have addressed themes of identity, conflict, and the struggle for freedom in their works. Naguib Mahfouz, Egyptian author and Nobel laureate, has influenced many Sudanese writers, but authors such as Taib Salih, whose book Season of Migration to the North is considered a masterpiece of Arabic literature, have been instrumental in creating a unique narrative of the region. Sudanese literature, though often marked by political and social hardship, reflects the resilience of its people and their quest for self-identity in a changing world. In terms of architecture, Sudan is famous for its mosques and mausoleums dating back centuries. In Khartoum, for example, the Al-Nileen Mosque is famous for its unique design that combines traditional elements with modern touches. Structures throughout the country often blend Arabic and African styles, creating an architectural style all their own. In addition, Sudan is known for its ancient Nubian temples, which are less touristy than the Egyptian ones but equally impressive, and are vestiges of a civilization that left a profound legacy in African history. Tea and coffee are essential beverages in Sudan, but the ritual surrounding them is even more interesting. Sudanese tea is prepared with a mixture of herbs and spices and is an integral part of daily life. It is served in small glasses and accompanied by traditional sweets, creating an experience that goes beyond the simple act of drinking. Coffee, on the other hand, has a deeper relationship with African roots. It is believed that coffee was discovered by the peoples of the Horn of Africa, and in Sudan, its consumption is almost a ritual, especially in rural areas. Education, although facing challenges, is also an area of great importance. There are several universities and institutes in the country that have trained generations of scientists, engineers, and doctors. However, despite efforts to improve the education system, inequalities between urban and rural areas are a palpable reality. Women, in particular, have historically fought for their right to education and participation in public life, and although there is still a long way to go, young Sudanese women continue to strive for a better future. Sudan has a large number of festivals, many of which celebrate Islam, which is the majority religion in the country. Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, is one of the biggest celebrations. During this holiday, the streets are filled with color, music, and dancing, and families gather to share a festive meal. However, Sudan also celebrates other lesser-known festivities, such as Mawlid, which commemorates the birth of the Prophet Muhammad. This is a day of great spiritual significance, and cities and towns are filled with lights and decorations as people engage in prayer and remember the teachings of the Prophet. In rural areas of Sudan, traditions and customs are kept alive through generations. Life in these areas is based primarily on agriculture, and the seasons set the rhythm of daily life. During the harvest season, the community comes together to work the land, and celebrations are held in thanksgiving for the fruits of the harvest. Despite technological advances in the cities, traditional practices remain a fundamental part of the Sudanese cultural landscape. In the world of legends, Sudan is full of stories passed down by word of mouth. Legends about mythical creatures, such as genies or protective spirits, are common, and many times these stories have a moral or educational purpose. These stories are not only part of the oral tradition, but have also been adapted into plays and literature, thus preserving a part of folklore that is still relevant today. Despite political and economic challenges, life in Sudan remains vibrant, marked by a rich and deep culture that celebrates unity in diversity. The Sudanese continue to maintain their traditions with pride, while looking to the future with hope and determination. The fusion of ancient and modern creates a society that continues to evolve, but never forgets its roots. In Sudan, every corner has a story to tell, and every person has a tradition to offer. If this video has left you amazed and you want to know more about Sudan and other fascinating topics, don't forget to subscribe to our World in Evolution channel. Join our community of curious and knowledge explorers. And if you want to delve even deeper into the world of history, personal development, and the great riches of knowledge, visit our website selfmatamillionaires.online. Don't miss it.